Okay, in this video we're going to be talking about the comma. The comma is really important in English language so that when people are writing, they're writing intended meaning that the people reading will understand. A comma can change the message. For example, a very humorous example. This is using the words "let's eat grandpa." Now the first sentence up the top here says "let's eat grandpa," which is saying we're going to be eating grandpa. However, the sentence below says "let's eat grandpa," which is implying that grandpa is going to be included. So it's important we get our comma correct because we can make a mistake and communicate the wrong message. Rule number 1 for commas. It's very important to remember that commas do not replace full stops. A full stop and a comma have a very different purpose. Every sentence must have a verb and a noun. So in each of these sentences, in our example, they're very small sentences, but just because they're a small sentence doesn't mean we put a comma to make our sentence look bigger. A simple sentence, like "he came to town," is appropriate. He being the pronoun, came being the verb, and we've got another noun, to town, is an okay simple sentence. We don't need to put a comma in there and then say he was looking for employment, because that is also a separate sentence. So be very careful about your sentence and not just adding in commas for the sake of it. Now here's an interesting example. If we read this sentence, it says "slow, children crossing." Our comma is often indicating we need to pause. So when we think about this picture, this is what should come to mind. Something like a lollipop lady holding up the stop sign saying "slow, children crossing," as in we need to slow down, the children are crossing. However, this particular sentence here, "slow children crossing," without that comma, is going to imply this picture, that the children are slow and they're crossing. Slow children crossing. This sentence here, thinking of the comma. Again, our comma implies we have a pause, so we say "go, get 'em doctors." It's almost like a command. So we're saying that someone's in help and he needs doctors. So "go, get him doctors." But if we take out the comma and we put it somewhere else, we would read it this way: "Go get him doctors." So you can see this little boy's taken the little girl for a ride in her wheelchair, and someone's yelling out to say "go get him." And who is he referring to? The doctors. So the comma definitely changes the meaning and message of your sentence. Remember that a comma is like a break or a breathe, a pause. And every time you put a comma in, the reader's going to be pausing to make sense of your sentence. Another example. Every day Anthony turns, slides and swings. Have a think about what that means. Every day Anthony turns, slides and swings. So Anthony, the possession is that he's turning, slides and swings. He's responsible for that and he's doing the action. However, if we put commas in those phrases, we're saying every day Anthony turns, slides and swings. So that's what Anthony's doing. Another rule, comma after an introductory word or phrase. This is really important. Whenever we have an introductory phrase, like in our example here, however, we always put a comma after it because we're introducing a new idea or thought. We might put a comma after "although," or "for example," or "consequently." We might use or any introductory word or phrase, we might be putting a comma next to it, or something like "according to," or "therefore" even. We're going to be doing that. So for this example, however, we may yet go on to see the parade. And if it's a phrase, introductory part of the sentence, for example, the second one, if I never went there again, I would enjoy the memory anyway. So it's an introductory word or phrase is going to have a comma. Here are some other examples of introductory words and phrases. Notice we have commas after them. Here's another example. After I left Grandma, Mummy and I skipped about in the park. So after I left Grandma, Mummy and I skipped about in the park. So obviously it's Mummy and I who are skipping and Grandma's by herself. Changing the commas. After I left, Grandma, Mummy and I skipped about in the park. So all three of them are skipping about in the park. Rule number 3, commas are used to list nouns. We know this one. For example, in my pencil case, I have 2 pens, 3 pencils and a sharpener. Or another example, Sally, Tim and Rodney walked through the park. We're listing nouns. We put a comma in. Okay, here's a sentence with no commas. Let's see what it says. Becky teased the boy with the fluffy duck. So Becky teased the boy with the fluffy duck. So it was the boy with the fluffy duck that she teased. However, if we put a comma in, Becky teased the boy with the fluffy duck. We're implying that Becky teased the boy with the fluffy duck and she had a fluffy duck and she was using it. Another rule for commas, they eliminate confusion. And that's what we've been seeing in the last few slides, where each slide had a different meaning depending on where the comma was put or whether it was being used or not used. So for example, if you would like to shoot, the attendant will demonstrate the rifle to you. Not, if you would like to shoot, the attendant will demonstrate the rifle to you. And a few others, no cats, thank you, is implying that the cats aren't allowed to be in the house. No cats, thank you. However, here we have cats being thanked. No cats, thank you. As in they are being thanked for being part of the house. This is a really good one. Becky walked on, her head a little higher than usual. The comma is creating that break, that pause in the sentence. Becky walked on, her head a little higher than usual. If we take that comma out, we get Becky walked on her head a little higher than usual. Another good one, look at that huge hot dog. Pretty simple. We've got a massive hot dog. However, if we put a comma in, look at that huge hot dog. The kids who got ice cream were very happy. So which kids are we talking about? Oh, the kids who got ice cream. It's all the kids. So the kids, additional information, it's an independent phrase because it's not important to the sentence. So it's additional information. The kids were happy, but we're implying that these particular kids were eating ice cream. So commas show which part of the sentence is just additional information. All the kids who also got the ice cream were very happy. However, here we have a dependent phrase. We don't have commas and we're talking about the specific kids who got ice cream. The kids who got ice cream were very happy. So here we have just the kids who got ice cream who were very happy. So no comma after kids because it is the kids who got ice cream who were very happy. It is defining the kids. Another rule, commas define additional information. These are called independent phrases. So this is like what we were talking about before. For example, the evil scientists, who were mischievous in their deeds, created a scary experiment. Who were mischievous in their deeds is additional information. It's an independent phrase that we're just adding in to give the evil scientist a little bit more description. But because it's additional information, we're putting it in commas. A few others. The student said the teacher is crazy. So the student's crazy. In this one, however, the student said the teacher is crazy. Another one, no pushing, please. If we take the comma out, it becomes no pushing, please. And here we're pushing, please. And the last one, what is this thing called? Honey? And what is this thing called, honey? And that's it. So it's really important to use your commas correctly, to think about the phrasing and the meaning you're trying to say in your sentences.